is neither a movement nor a government. There are, of course, many well Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable President of the Baker Minister of State, Rodolfo Becker, Member of Parliament of Federal Republic of Germany, His Excellency Ambassador Sahanu, distinguished delegates, friends, on behalf of Somali National Alliance, SNA, and my own behalf, it is great honor and distinct privilege for me to welcome you to Somalia. We are very much pleased and gratified that you are here. The first president have had the opportunity to visit Somalia, to visit us, with us, in the critical moment in our history. We attach a great deal of importance to your presence among us here today, for there is a necessary reserve of goodwill in Somalia for Uganda. We are very much conscious of the fact that your country welcomed heartfelt hospitality. I am sure that you are aware of the affection the Somali people have for the Ugandan people, and I believe that the feeling is mutual. We would like to claim for the excellent progress did by Uganda under your guidance and wise leadership. At personal level, I have a good memory of my colleague, the Ugandan ambassador to India, with whom I had the privilege of being friendly, whereby I served as a Somali ambassador to India in the 1980s. Your arrival in Somalia at this time is significant. In other respects, our country is passing through a difficult period. There is a political division. There is a political division, and there is no central government. The economy of the country has totally collapsed, and the social infrastructure destroyed in the civil strife. As the direct result of these problems, hunger, starvation, and general lawlessness are rampant in the country. The outside world has suddenly awakened to the Somali crisis and is very much confused about the root causes and the nature of the crisis. The problem is, however, that the situation so as to grasp the real cause of the problem. Yet they are only too eager to offer solutions. Some of them wanting to impose on us their so-called solutions through many of these outsiders offering solutions are sincere but mistaken. For instance, we owe this to the international community, and we owe it to the next generation. Second, it is a question of morality and of a justice, power of the state, in military coup, the state. Siad Barre created a communist police state with all its instruments of repression, torture, and death. In the next 20 years, these problems at the Somali Congress, USC, which I have had the privilege to serve as its chairman since June 1, 1990, has played a leading role in the subsequent revolutionary struggle that deposed the despotic regime. In so doing, USC did not act as an angry mob or parochial outlift, but it has been from the start a revolutionary movement with transparent national policy and political platform. The regime of Siad Barre, by force of arms in response to his rejection of democratic reforms and to his offer of repeated position that he had 6/1/1990. And while we were in the hot pursuit, the Manifesto Sulh clique occupied all the key installation of Mogadishu with the hurriedly gathered militia and announced to the world the formation of an interim government with Ali Mahdi as the head and Umar al-Tiqali as the prime minister. Interestingly enough, the members of the so-called government were the same as those who had served under Siad Barre, with the exception of Ali Mahdi. At this stage, USC was faced with a dilemma whether to evict the Manifesto Sulh clique by means of force and risk the return of Siad Barre, who was not very far from the capital, or whether to stand aside and try to resolve the unexpected crisis by peaceful means. We choose the later option. The immediate effect on the country of these illegal actions by the Manifesto Sulh clique was destructive. The entire leadership of USC was torn apart by its obligation to save the country from these predators and its desire to avoid violence, especially in the capital city. Thus, the freedom fighters in the movement became deeply depressed to sit idly by and watch helplessly the city they had just liberated, run by some deposed government in different uniforms. By crippling the USC, the Manifesto Sulh clique helped Siad Barre remain in the country and thus put the country in the anomalous situation of having the deposit ruler control 1/3 of the Somalia, where he was able to launch offensive attacks to recapture Mogadishu. Similarly, the clique's action prompted to SNM in the north to declare northern Somalia independent from the rest of the country. with the support of some foreign powers, the clique concocted the infamous Djibouti Conference, which was organized to legitimize the illegitimate attempt to usurp power by the Manifesto Sulh clique. The so-called Djibouti Accords failed when the fraud was exposed and the most of the signatories refused to abide by them. At this point, the Manifesto Sulh clique decided to resort the violence intended to root out the liberation movement altogether. Thus, it organized attacks on both USC and SBM in separate engagements. But USC was able to bounce back from all this and repulsing the attacks by the clique, limiting it to a small areas in Mogadishu. USC was also able to organize a coalition of 4 movements and finally remove Siad Barre and his forces from the country. These 4 movements, USC, SBM, Somali Democratic Movement, SDM, and the Somali National Movement, SSNM, have recently held a conference at which they formed an umbrella alliance, the Somali National Alliance, SNA. The alliance established institutions that will perform functions of government in the 11 regions controlled by the SNA. In terms of the priority set by the alliance, SNA will concentrate on restoring public order so that the humanitarian assistance can safely reach the needy. This program requires that SNA recall and reactivate the former Somali police force. Another priority for SNA is the rehabilitation of the public facilities and resumption of the provision of public services, such as water supply, garbage collection, health area care, schooling, and communications. Finally, the alliance will promote peace and harmony among the Somali community throughout the country. SNA, in its search for peace and the national reconciliation, have already established contacts and entered dialogue with other movements to organize together a national conference in Somalia, which would form a broad-based interim government for all of Somalia. In this reconciliation campaign, SNA is committed to traveling to every part of the country and to meeting every movement with exception of Manifesto Sulh clique, which is neither a movement nor a government. There are, of course, many well-meaning people who have been misled by the clique. The SNA intend to win back the vast majority of these people by facilitating their return to the movement. Negotiations to this end are already underway. As to the fate of the clique, a special prosecutor is investigating. It is a thank you.